صلى الله عليك يا رسول الله صلى الله عليك وعلى أهل بيتك المعصومين المظلومين صلى الله عليك يا أبا عبد الله صلى الله عليك يا أبا عبد الله صلى الله عليك يا أبا عبد الله يا رحمة الله الواسعة ويا باب نجاة الأمة غريب يا مظلوم كربلاء يا ليتنا كنا معكم سادتي فنفوز فوزا عظيما أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الناس كلوا ما في الأرض حلالا طيبا ولا تتبعوا خطوات الشيطان إنه لكم عدو مبين. To hasten the reappearance of our Imam and to enlighten your hearts, أفلح من صلى على محمد وآل محمد. In life, people tend to develop enemies, just like they develop friends naturally. And unfortunately, we develop enemies. Some enemies, we develop them because of envy. Someone envies something that you have, so they become an enemy. A neighbor can become an enemy to their neighbor. And God forbid, relatives and family can sometimes, God forbid, become enemies because of envy. Sometimes because of principles. You might have a principle, some moral standards that people don't agree with, and they become an enemy of yours because they don't agree with you. Other kinds of animosity can develop because of religious reasons. For example, other sects might hate the followers of the Ahlul Bayt because they're the followers of the Ahlul Bayt. Religiously influenced animosity. But who is the greatest enemy of us humans? Imam al-Sadiq alayhi salam is asked this question. He has a companion by the name of Husham ibn al-Hakam. He asked him, he said, "Oh master, we have a lot of enemies. People try and inflict harm upon us in different ways, and our enemies call on to other enemies, and just keeps going on and on." He means us, he means the followers of the Ahlul Bayt. So he asked the Imam, who's the greatest enemy towards us? The Imam told him, I'll say this in Arabic first, the greatest enemy is the shaitan, al-muwakkal biwaswas al-qulub, falahu faltashtad adawatuk. The greatest enemy that we have as humans is who? The shaitan, and the Imam says he is responsible for what? His only mission is to deceive the hearts of the humans. So the Imam says, to him, make sure your animosity increases. Just like he's your enemy, make sure you become his enemy. Now, you find, and before we get into this topic, we'll talk about two main points. There's 2 points we'll unravel. Number one, what makes the shaitan, Iblis, the devil, what makes him powerful? Number two, how does he misguide the human creature, the human being? How does he misguide them? We will unravel these topics with these 2 points after Allah's salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. There's many aspects and many upper hands that the shaitan has when you compare the shaitan to the humans. We'll talk about some of them. The first one, very quickly, the first one is the shaitan. And I'll ask this question to everyone here. The shaitan, is that one person, or are we talking about multiple? Multiple. The shayateen are in the many millions. Millions that you can't even count. How so? When the shaitan was kicked out of heaven by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because he disobeyed Allah azza wa jal, the shaitan said, "Oh Lord, I've worshipped you for this many years. Thousands of years he worshipped Allah. And you're going to kick me out like this? You're going to punish me? I want my reward." And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him his reward in this world so that in the hereafter he can be punished. He asked for multiple things. One of the things he asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for was that for every human being that's born, I want 2 shayateen born with them. 2 of my minions, let's call them minions. 2 of my minions, I want them born with every single human being. So we can guarantee ourselves that we have at least 2 shayateen that are always trying to influence us, at least. This allowed the shaitan to have the upper hand by having numerous millions and millions of Satans. That's one reason that the shaitan is more powerful than humans. Their army is bigger than the American army, bigger than the Russian army, the Chinese army. You can't even count them. That's number one. The second point that makes the shaitan more powerful is proximity. Who believes the shaitan is close to us? The shaitan is extremely close to us. The shaitan is able to come close and closer and closer without us realizing. And later on in this speech, we'll talk about exactly how close the shaitan can get to us without us even realizing. That's number 2. Number 3, the knowledge and the cunning nature of the shaitan makes them more powerful than the humans. The shaitan doesn't have 1, 2, or 3 years experience with their job. What's their job? Their job is to deceive people. They've been doing this job and completing and deceiving people for thousands of years. From the time of our Prophet Adam till our time, alayhi salam. The shaitan has years of experience. His knowledge is passed on to all the new shayateen that are born. You can think of it this way. The shaitan has a crash course. Anytime a new minion is born, provides them with A to Z how to deceive the humans. or how to deceive the humans for dummies. The knowledge they have, the experience they have, allows them to become much more powerful than us. And you find with the armies in our day, numbers isn't as important. What's actually important when it comes to armies and wars is intelligence. The shaitan has the intelligence. He's been doing this for thousands of years. So you can imagine. That's number 3. Number 4, the shaitan is invisible. Can anyone here see the shaitan? I'm glad that's the case. Otherwise, I would have told you to refer yourself to a doctor. No one can see the shaitan. And that makes the shaitan more powerful. The Holy Quran says, إِنَّهُ يَرَاكُمْ هُوَ وَقَبِيلُهُ مِنْ حَيْثُ لَا تَرَوْنَ. That they see you. He sees you, and his Satans, his minions see you, but you do not see them. If I can please ask that mobile phone to be turned off and focus to be this way, please. Ahsantum. They're invisible. When your enemy is invisible, how are you going to be able to protect yourself from them? You can't protect yourself from them. But we will talk about this later on as well. Now, because he's invisible, when the shaitan tries to infect me and use his tactics to deceive me, I don't understand that until it's too late. There's a story. A young man, this young man was dealing with a sin on a daily basis. He was so addicted to this sin that no matter what he did, he couldn't get rid of it. Why? The shaitan started, he told him, why don't you try this out? And he didn't tell him this was bad, don't do it, you'll get addicted. No, he didn't tell him that. Try it out. He tried it. Once, twice, 3 times. This boy realized that this sin has taken him, that now he can't get rid of it. Every time he's alone, he's always committing this sin. He locks himself up somewhere in his room, in private, and he can't get rid of it. It affected his prayers. His prayers were neglected. His fasting was no longer accepted because this sin prevents you from fasting. Your fasting is not accepted anymore. So he realized it's an issue. He did something about it. He said, I'll try tonight. I will try and leave my phone away from me, and I'll go to sleep, and I'll try and stay away from this sin. So that night, he went to bed, tried to sleep. The shaitan came to him. He never lets you go, by the way. He's always with you. A very close companion. He came to him. He said, what are you doing? You think you can get away from me this easily? Go and do the sin. You're addicted to it. He went and got his phone and he committed the sin. Then he said, there's no other solution. I need to ask for help from someone. He reached out to his mother. He told his mother, he's embarrassed. He doesn't want to tell his mother that he's committing a sin. He told his mother, do not let me lock the door on myself. If I try to close and lock the door, do not let me do that. Because if I do that, then I'm worried I'll fall into sin. So his mother said, okay. He said, no matter what, even if I beg you. He said, okay. That night, he tried to go to sleep. He couldn't. He's with you at all times. The shaitan's with you. He told him, what are you doing? Get up, close the door. He got up, tried to close the door. His mother came. No, you're not closing the door. You told me to not let you close the door. He couldn't sleep that night. It was hard. It was difficult. The shaitan's still with him. He tried to sleep. He slept. The first night, the second night, the third night went past. and he stayed away from this sin. Soon, he said, my prayers were better. I was performing my prayers on time. I was fasting. My manners improved. The shaitan realized he doesn't have the upper hand upon him. When the shaitan's invisible, then he starts attacking, and I don't realize it until I am addicted, and too late. Too late to run away from it anymore. That is the fourth thing that makes the shaitan more powerful than us humans. Number 5, the weapon of the shaitan. What does the shaitan use as a weapon? Who can tell me? Voice. What else? Desires. What else? Triggers. Ahsant. What else? Anyone else from there, from the back? Ahsant. Everything that was mentioned is correct. Yes? Invisibility. That's one of his weapons. Yes? But how does the shaitan deceive me? The shaitan doesn't use knives. He doesn't use guns. He doesn't use missiles. All he does is he whispers to you. Whispers to you and uses the stuff that he knows are your weakness. The shaitan, you can think of him just like a hacker. When you have someone that's hacked into a system, you don't realize they're there. He comes into your mind. You don't realize he's there. He starts changing things around. Starts making things that are bad look good, and things that are good look bad. Very slowly. The shaitan has a project. He doesn't do this over a day and night. He has a project which he works over the years. Even if this takes 100 years. If you live up to 100, your project with the shaitan is up to 100 years. Changes things around, just like a hacker. You don't know he's there. When do you find out? You find out when you fell into the sin. You committed the crime. You did something wrong. You're in trouble. Then you realize to yourself, I know that's wrong. Why did I commit it? This is the shaitan. The shaitan convinced you to do it. The shaitan doesn't come and tell you this is wrong. Just like water, sweet water, that's poisonous. It doesn't say it's poisonous. It looks harmless. Looks like you're going to be safe if you drink it. You're going to quench your thirst. It looks good. But then when he inflicts, when he encourages you to do it, you realize that was bad. When you drink the poisoned water, you realize you've been poisoned. Those are the weapons of the shaitan. The narration says, "Inna shaitan la yajri fi bani Adam majra dam." Okay? The shaitan travels inside and operates inside human beings just like blood. You're sitting down in the majlis here. Everyone here is sitting down. Is your blood flowing? Yes, your blood is flowing. If my blood wasn't flowing, I'd be dead now. The shaitan travels inside you and operates inside you just like your blood. You don't know it's flowing. You don't feel that it's flowing. You know it's flowing. You don't feel it. In the same way, the shaitan. You don't feel him, but he comes to you and he inflicts his harm upon you. Now, that is revolving around how the shaitan is more powerful. What makes the shaitan have the upper hand when it comes to deceiving human beings? But we go into our next part of the speech and we look into how the shaitan deceives us. And we'll talk about this after a loud salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Let me give you some good news, okay? Everyone here. Good news is the shaitan is not able to control you without you giving permission. The shaitan cannot make you do something if you don't allow the shaitan to do it. Whatever it is. If it's a small action that's going to allow you to get in trouble, whether it's something that's going to harm you, harm yourself, harm your soul, no matter what it is, the shaitan cannot control your actions. It's not like the Hollywood movies where they see you their hands moving. Oh, it's not me, it's the devil. It's not like that. The shaitan cannot control you if you do not give him permission to do so. But when he does deceive you, you can't say, oh, that wasn't me. That was the shaitan. You can't do that. If you get in trouble with the police, if someone was to commit a crime and get in trouble with the police, can they say the shaitan made me do this? No. No. Can't say the shaitan made you do it. Just like you can't say my friend told me to speed, so I sped, so it's his fault, not my fault. Or she told me to do this, and that's why I'm in trouble now. No. You're in trouble, and you put yourself in trouble because you decided to do that. Just like school. When we're in school, and someone does something wrong, they say, my friend told me to do it. Well, they say, if your friend told you to jump off a bridge, would you do that? No. You decide your actions. No one decides them for you. That's a bit of an intro into how the shaitan deceives us. The shaitan cannot control us if we don't want it. Now, how does the shaitan do it? There was a scholar by the name of Sheikh Al-Ansari. He lived many years ago, rahmatullah alayh. He was one of the highest ranking scholars in the Shia sect. He's got a story. It comes in 3 parts. And they say one day his mom came to him. She told him, you're at such a high status. You have so much money that you can help others with. And his mom was also pious. Why don't you help your brother? Your brother needs some money. Give him from the huquq al-shar'iyyah, the religious dues. Give him some of that money. Shaykh Al-Ansari said, mother, this is the key. She was pious. This is the key. Take it and you decide how much my brother needs. Take it and go give it to him. The mother said, no. You tell me how much you can provide and I will take it to him. He did not allow his desires to tell him, wait, this is my brother. Even though this is not my money, it's my brother, he needs it. Let me give it to him. So a man came to him the next day. He told him, I saw a dream. In this dream, I saw the shaitan. The shaitan had multiple chains. From the biggest chain to the smallest, and then came the strings. The strings of Iblis. The title of this topic, if anyone is keeping up, the strings of Iblis. He said, I saw all of these. I asked him, what are these chains? He said, this is what I use to deceive people, to trick people, to pull people into sins and crimes. So he said that I've tried some of these on many people and they haven't worked. This is the shaitan telling him. And he said, see this biggest chain here? I tried to use it on your scholar, Shaykh al-Ansari, and I wasn't successful. He broke through the chains. So the man came and told Shaykh al-Ansari. He said, this is what I saw the shaitan in a dream, and this is what he said. He said, I know what this is about. He said, yesterday, my wife was giving birth, and we needed money urgently. He didn't have money. Even though he was the highest ranking scholar, marja of the time, his situation was this. He didn't have enough money for his wife's pregnancy. That's why these days, when people attack, and I'll open brackets here, when people attack our scholars, on what basis are they basing this off? When they attack the scholars, saying that the scholars take as much as they want, they eat as much as they want, who are you to attack a scholar that's devoted their lives for the religion? Who am I to do this? And then they say, don't worry about the scholars. You read and you decide your religious obligations. You tell them, well, I don't know. I haven't studied enough. That's fine. They say, that's fine. Come to me, I'll tell you. Why should I come to you when I have a scholar that can do this for me? Why should I come to you? And unfortunately, this is a problem that's infecting our communities. Anyway, Shaykh al-Ansari said that I didn't have enough money. But there was some money that was given to me by someone to look after it. And they allowed me to use it. But I said, I don't want to use it, just in case I pass away during these few hours. If I pass away, then no one knows that I used this money. This is how cautious they are. Our scholars are not just a visual presentation of religion. No. They're much more than that. So, number one method. How does the shaitan deceive us? The shaitan uses many, but we will talk about 4 if we have time today. Number one, the Quran says, Al-Shaytan ya'idukum al-faqra wa ya'murukum bil-fahsha wallah ya'idukum maghfiratan minhu wa fadla. The shaitan promises you and warns you about poverty. And he calls you towards sins and indecent doings. The shaitan warns me from poverty. How does he use this to misguide? I'll tell you. Our religion, if we follow it, then we can become successful, we can become blessed, and we can become rich. But the shaitan tells me the opposite. Let me give you a few examples. Number one, our religion tells us to keep close ties with our relatives, with our close kin. Keep close ties with them, because you will be blessed. Your money will be blessed. Your lives will be blessed. Our religion tells us, go and perform ziyarah. Go and visit Abi Abdullah al-Hussein, because that will allow you to become a blessed person and your money to be blessed. And our religion says, pay your religious dues. Pay your khumus and pay your zakat. What does the shaitan do? The shaitan tells you, be careful. Your relative was looking at you in a wrong way. I didn't like the way he was looking at you. And you think of it, you say, yeah, that's right. I didn't like the way he looked at me yesterday. Your relative didn't send you a message when it was your birthday. Or for the ladies, she didn't call me every day for the last week. She didn't come and visit me when I was sick. Find excuses for them. Don't decide to cut your ties with your relatives that quickly. Give them excuse after excuse. Our religion tells us to find 40 excuses for why they mistreated us. 40, if not more. And this is not just for the relative, it's for any other mu'min brother or sister. The shaitan tells you, cut your ties. The shaitan tells you, don't go to ziyarah. Going to ziyarah, the tickets are expensive. You're going to have to take time off work. You're going to have to leave your family. Don't spend money. Makes you fear that you're going to lose money by doing this. Where in fact, our religion tells us, do it and you will be blessed. I and many other people have experienced how blessed your life becomes after these visitations. The Imam the visiting the Imam blesses you, the shaitan tells you don't do it. The third example is khumus and zakat. The shaitan will come and tell you, by the way, if you pay your khumus and your zakat, you're going to be set back. You have this much money, you're going to be set back $10,000, $5,000. Don't do it. Why else would people not pay the religious dues? Why else would someone not pay sadaqah? Because the shaitan makes you feed poverty. Al-shaytan ya'idukum al-faqr. That's the first way. The second method of the shaitan, again, also mentioned in the Holy Quran. It says, يَعِدُهُمْ وَيُمَنِّيهِمْ وَمَا يَعِدُهُمُ الشَّيْطَانِ إِلَّا غُرُورًا. That he promises them and he calls them towards certain actions, and he does not call them towards nothing but delusions. How so? This method is called false hopes. He tells you, don't worry about this good action now. Do it later. You sit down, you're doing your work, you hear the adhan. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. You want to pack up, you want to go and pray. Who comes to you? The shaitan comes to you. Wait, you're still doing your work. Finish it, then go pray. You've got time to pray. You've got 4 hours, 5 hours to pray. You say, okay, you listen to the shaitan. He says, you finish your work. You want to get up and pray because you remembered this time. You were lucky enough to remember. He comes to you. He says, it's still not qada. Why are you praying now? Don't pray. Just wait. You have a lot of time. The shaitan won't just come and tell you, leave prayer, leave fasting, and don't do it anymore. No. The shaitan will tell you, you've got a lot of time. So you delay it. Before you know it, Salat al-Dhuhr and Asr are qada. Maghrib and Isha came. Guess who's coming back? The shaitan's coming back. Does the same thing. Before you know it, you've got one whole day of prayer. Not you, the person that doesn't pray. Before they know it, they've got a whole day worth of prayer in their bank account that they need to make up later on. The shaitan becomes a bank customer service representative. Give me as much as you want. Keep adding more and more and more. Before you know it, you've got one whole year of salat, qada that you need to complete. Does he let go? No, he doesn't let go. He comes back. How old are you now? You're 15 years old. You're 20 years old. You're 10 years old. You still have life in front of you. Enjoy your life and do your qada later. Make up for your prayers later. That's what qada is. Make up for your prayers later. That's what he tells you. He doesn't tell you do it now. You don't know when you're going to die. How do I know I am going to live for another year? You see it on the news. You see it in every single country, no matter whether it's peaceful or not. People die at different ages. Make up for your salat tonight. Start by making up for anything you've missed. Do not allow the shaitan, and I beg you, my brothers and my sisters, do not allow the shaitan to make you delay it not a single day anymore. He gives you false hope. Do it later. You've got time. Imam Ali alayhi salam says in this narration, he says, ما أطال العبد الأمل إلا أساء العمل. That no servant increases and has false hope, says they're going to do something in the future, except that they will commit wrongdoings. They will commit sins. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. False hope. That's the second method that the shaitan misguides human beings. The third method that the shaitan misguides human beings is known as the small steps. The small steps is what the shaitan uses to misguide you. The Quran says, وَلَا تَتَّبِعُوا خُطُوَاتِ الشَّيْطَانِ. Do not follow the steps of the shaitan. Why do they call it steps? Let's look at this. All right? The shaitan doesn't come and tell you, as I said, doesn't come and tell you, don't pray. Slowly, he'll push you away. Doesn't come and tell you, go and do drugs. No. Because initially you know this is wrong. The shaitan very kindly will give you a friend. Who thinks this friend's going to be a good friend? The friend that the shaitan gives, is that friend going to be good or bad? Bad. Shaitan gives you a friend. That friend leads you to one thing, leads you to another thing. Before you know it, you fell into drugs and alcohol. Not you, the person that's listening to this that is inflicted by this. Inshallah, no one here is inflicted by this. All he does is he misguides you a bit by bit. Just like an airplane. When an airplane's flying, if the pilot changes the direction by even 0.1 of a degree, just a bit, by the time this airplane reaches its destination, it's tens and hundreds of kilometers away from its original destination. All it needs is a single bit of miscalculation. The shaitan does the same thing. Makes you take small steps. And that's how he makes you fall into sin. And you find that this happens at different levels. This impacts communities and individuals. How? There's a book that was authored by an Iranian man. It's called The Culture of Nakedness and the Nakedness of Culture. This book, he talks about how the dress code changed over the years from the 1800s to the 1900s until our time. He shows that before, in olden ages, in the 1910s even, he shows that women used to dress modestly. If they were of a high caliber, of a high status, they used to dress modestly. The people that started dressing immodestly were the poor people. Why? Because they didn't have enough money. The more they cover themselves, the more fabric they need. The more fabric, the more expensive it is. More money. That's why the modest and the high caliber people of the community, the ladies used to cover themselves, their hands, their faces, everything used to be covered. And they used to sit inside covered carts. But the poor people did not have the money. They didn't used to dress modestly. What happened? Over the years, hijab, or what they knew as covering, reduced. It reduced and reduced and reduced to what you see in our day and age on the streets. Who do you think did this? The shaitan did this. The shaitan knows that if a woman is going to cover herself with a hijab, then this woman is not going to attract men. The shaitan comes and tells the woman, hey, uncover a bit of your hair. Don't you want the man to see? Attract people? And the woman does that. And what does the man do? The young man looks. Don't give the attention. The woman, my sisters, my aunties, do not give the shaitan the opportunity to allow you to let go of your hijab. All it takes is for one person in the community to reduce the standard. One person after the other. Yeah, some people might talk and be courageous enough to talk and say, fix your hijab. But if one person after the other reduce the level of hijab, then before I know it, hijab is not existent anymore. On the day of judgment, the mother or the auntie or the woman goes and stands in front of her actions, and they tell her, look at all these people that aren't wearing the hijab. That's all registered in your book. She says, why? Why me? They say, because you started it. You started dressing immodestly. All it takes is for one person. If I, as a mother, the mother and the father, if I reduce the moral standards, the standard of hijab, if I reduce it, the standard of morals and listening to music, if I, as the father, start listening to music, whether I do it accidentally with a video that pops up, or whether I do it on purpose because I'm watching a movie and there's music in it and I don't put the volume down, don't be surprised if the child grows up listening to music and, as they say, they jam with it. Don't be surprised. My young brothers, do not let go of your standards. My mothers and my fathers and my aunties, do not allow the standards to drop in the community. Don't let go of your standards, because this will allow your children to drop the standards even more and more. Yes, I might uncover a bit of my hair. But then my daughter will think, what's the point of this hijab that's just covering a bit of my hair? Just take it off. That's what she does. And who's responsible for this? The mother and the father. They are responsible for this. It's extremely important to keep in mind. The shaitan doesn't come to you and tell you take it off entirely. No. Tells you to wear tight clothing. Slowly start letting go of your moral standards, and before you know it, you're trapped. So let us, today, let us give ourselves a CPR, a defibrillator. Give a defibrillator to your religion, to your standards. Let's reset. What does my religion tell me to do? Make sure you do it. My religion tells me not to listen to music. Make sure you don't listen to music. Whether it's from a video that accidentally shows up, whether it's from a movie you're watching, let's reset today. Tonight, I tell myself, whenever I hear any bit of music, let me erase that. Let me remove that from my life. That's how we are going to protect ourselves and protect the future generations. There's a story of how the shaitan does this in steps. There was a worshipper by the name of Bar'am bin Ba'ura, or Bal'am bin Ba'ura. Another name of his was Barsisa. This man was a worshipper, a very extremely respected man in the community. And he had segregated himself from humans. In the mountains, all he does is worship. So one day, 3 men, they needed to go to war, or they needed to go, and they had a sister. This sister was sick. They said they didn't know where to leave the sister. They said, we'll leave this sister with Barsisa. Barsisa was respected. So they went to him. They said, we have a sister. I want to leave her with you. Well, what do you say? He said, no. I can't let you do that because she's not halal upon me. And we're going to be here alone. They said, we have no other option. We have to go. Do something for us. The shaitan came to him. He said, look, you're doing something good. For the sake of Allah, just look after her. She's sick. He said, okay, I'll do it. Soon, they separate themselves. He put her in one room. He sat in another room. He would go and give her food. Without looking, without talking, give her food, walk back out. Slowly, he started talking to her. Having a conversation here and there. This talking turned into laughter. The laughter turned into long gatherings. Before he knew it, the shaitan came to him and he told him to commit the act of fornication with her. Wal-'iyadhu billah. He's listened to him this whole time. This worshipper, he listened to him throughout all the steps. He listened to him this time again. He committed the act. Did he leave him? No. Shaitan came back. She's pregnant now. Wait for her to give birth and kill the child. That's exactly what he did. Wait, but she's alive. She's going to speak about this to her brothers. They're going to kill you. Kill her. He killed her. Started off as a worshipper. Ended up as a murderer. Did it end here? No. The shaitan is a very close companion. Does not let go of you. The brothers came. He lied. The shaitan went to the brothers. He said, go and look in this area. You'll find your sister and she has been killed. They went and found their sister. She was killed. They took him to court. They sentenced him to death. To be killed by being hanged. Who came back? The shaitan came back. He told him, do you want me to save you from this situation? He said, what are you going to save me from? The rope is around my neck and I am going to be killed any second now. He said, no, I'll save you. Just listen to me. He said, okay, how are you going to save me? We fall for the shaitan again and again. He said, all I need you to do is to bow to me. He said, you want me to bow to you? Can't you see how I'm standing? How am I going to bow to you? He said, no, that's fine. Just bat your eyelids. Close your eyelids, and I'll take that as if you bow to me. You respect me as your Lord. He bowed to him. As soon as he did that, he was killed. This man started off as a worshipper, fell into one sin, 2, 3, 4, 5, you can count them, how many sins he fell into. Started by speaking to the woman that's not halal upon him, ended in killing, and then died as a disbeliever in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is what the shaitan does. The fourth method of the shaitan is tazyin. The shaitan beautifies the sin. If I was a person that was conscious of my sins, every time I commit a sin, I feel bad about it. I put my head on the pillow and regret it. Then I wouldn't commit the sin again. If everyone was conscious of their sins like that, then they wouldn't commit it. But the shaitan comes and tells you it's a beautiful sin, it's normal. A mother of a boy once called my cousin. She told him, my son is dealing with drugs and alcohol, and I have no solution for him. He said, what do you tell him? She said, I tell him not to do it. So what does he respond to you? He says, mother, you drink coffee and you're addicted to coffee. And the same way you're addicted to coffee, I'm addicted to drugs. This is what the shaitan does. Make something like drugs seem so normal. Oh, it's a normal addiction. So what if you do it? That's what he does. Beautifies the sin. Imam al-Hussein on the day of Karbala, on the day of Ashura, in the land of Karbala, he told the people, he spoke to them, he warned them, and then he said, مُلِئَتْ بُطُونُكُم مِّنَ الْحَرَامِ. They're not listening anymore. There's no more hope with them. Why? Because they had fell into sin. مُلِئَتْ بُطُونُهُم مِّنَ الْحَرَامِ. Their stomachs have been filled with haram. That's why they couldn't even listen. Even if they wanted to, they couldn't listen to the imam, couldn't comprehend what the imam was telling them anymore. On the other hand, you have a man by the name of Wahab. Wahab was a Christian. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Wahab, or the correct terminology is Wahab, was a Christian. Him, his mother, and his wife, which they were recently married, maybe a few weeks, a few months. One glance at their imam's face made them turn from Christianity, and they became Muslims, and he fought with his imam. This is the story of Wahab. Wahab, on the day of Ashura, his mom told him, go and fight. He began fighting the enemies and killed so many of the enemies. He came back to his mom, mother, are you pleased with me? I've killed so many. She said, I will not be pleased with you, Wahab, until you die and sacrifice yourself before Abi Abdullah al-Hussein. His wife came to him. Her name was Qamar. She told him, Wahab, we've just got married. Come and stay with me. The mother told him, don't listen, go and sacrifice yourself. He went and fought and fought. Before he knew it, his wife was calling him. And she said, Ya Wahab qatil duna at-tayyibin. Oh Wahab, fight. She was just telling him, don't fight. Now she's telling him, go and fight and defend the pure ones. He came to her, he said, what happened? What changed? She said, I was standing at the door of my tent and I saw Abi Abdullah and he was calling for supporters. ألا هل من ناصر ينصرنا ألا هل من معين يعيننا. The Imam was calling for supporters, the Imam was calling for helpers. Ya Wahab, that shattered my heart. I could not stand and hear the calls of the Imam, the cries of the Imam. نعم إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون. أحسن الله لكم العزاء عندما وصل ركب أبي عبد الله إلى كربلاء. كان الإمام الحسين قد قسم الرايات على أصحابه وبقيت راية واحدة. واحد من أصحابه يقول سيدي لمن هذه الراية؟ قال الحسين الآن سيأتي صاحبها. بينما هم في الكلام ذا بالغبرة قد ثارت فسأل الإمام الحسين ما الخبر؟ قالوا نرى غبرة ثارت من جهة الكوفة. فقال قوموا واستقبلوا شيخكم، قوموا واستقبلوا عميدكم. نعم قوموا واستقبلوا حبيب بن مظاهر. لما وصل حبيب ونظر إلى الحسين ترجل على ظهر جواده وجثى على ركبته وهو يقول السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله. الحمد لله الذي وفقني لنصرتك. قال له الحسين وعليك السلام عما حبيب. ثم سلمه الراية ثم سلم على الأصحاب وسلموا عليه فارتفعت الأصوات. وكانت مولاتنا زينب تسمع فقالت بني علي ما الذي جاء إلى نصرة الغريب؟ قال عمنا حبيب بن مظاهر الأسدي قد وصل الآن. قالت أبلغه عنا السلام جاء علي الأكبر. قال عما حبيب إن عمتي زينب تقرئك السلام. فأخذ حبيب من تراب كربلاء وصار يحثه على رأسه ويلطم على وجهه ويقول من أنا ومن أكون حتى تسلم علي بنت أمير المؤمنين. سيدي أبا عبد الله إذن لي حتى أسلم على زينب. نعم فأذن له الحسين فأقبل حبيب ودموعه تتقاطر على شفته على شيبته الطاهرة. ووقف بإزاء خيمة الحوراء وهو ينادي السلام عليكن يا أهل بيت النبوة وموضع الرسالة ومختلف الملائكة ومهبط الوحي والتنزيل. السلام عليك أيها المخدرة. السلام على الحوراء زينب. وإذا بصوت من داخل الخيمة وعليك السلام عم يا حبيب يا عم أوصيك بهذا الغريب لا تقصر عن نصرته. أوصيك يا عمي بالحسين، أنصار وأهل بيت قليلين، خايفة من هجمة البين على العباس يا عمي والحسين. نعم قال أبشري يا زينب لأنعمنك عينا. لسان حال مولاتي زينب، بالله يا عمي يا حبيب، لا تعوف بيد هذا الغريب، باكر يظل وحده سليب، عاري وضلوع مكسره. بالله يا عمي يا حبيب، لا تعوف بيد هذا الغريب، باكر يظل وحده سليب، عاري وضلوع مكسره، خوفي يظل على التراب، ينادي ولا يسمع جواب، وقباله ما تروح الشباب، وللخيمة داير ناظره. هذا موقف لحبيب مع زينب حينما وصل إلى كربلاء. وهنالك موقف آخر قبل أن يبرز إلى الميدان. أقبل حبيب وهو يقول اللي وجدك يا زينب، يوم تحملين على بعير ضالع بغير غطاء، يدار بك من دار إلى دار، ومن ديوان إلى ديوان. ولما كان يوم عاشوراء من المحرم وحمي الوطيس، اشتد القتال، وكان حبيب على ميسرة جيش الحسين. نعم شد على الأعداء كالليث إذا غضب، نعم تزاحموا عليه من كل جانب، وهو يقاتلهم قتال الأبطال. أعظم الله أجوركم، أحسن الله لكم العزاء. هجم عليه بديل بن صريم رافعا سيفه. أعظم الله أجوركم، أعظم الله أجرك يا أبا عبد الله. ضربه على رأسه، ثم أتبعه تميمي آخر فضربه بالرمح في خاصرته، فوقع على الأرض. أراد أن يقوم متحملا جراحته، فشد عليه الحسين بن نمير رافعا سيفه، وضربه على أم راسه، فسقط صريعا. رحم الله من نادى وحبيبا وناصره. نعم جاء الحسين عليه السلام محني الظهر، جلس عنده صاح حبيبي حبيب رحمك الله يا حبيب، ثم أخذ يمسح الدم والتراب عن وجهه ودموعه جارية على خده. جذب ونا ومنا راحت الروح بعد عنا ودمع العين منشور. نعم ودعا جلس عند الشهيد حسين، ودعا حبيب اقعد حبيبك قوم، يا قام وغمض عيون الصبط، رجع ينحب وعبره تجريه، رجع ينحب وعبرته يا جريه. أقول ما سقط أحد من أصحاب الحسين إلا وأتى إليه ووضع رأسه في حجره. نعم إلا رأس أبي عبد الله لم يحضر أحد عنده، حضرت إليه مولاتنا زينب مسلوب العمامة والرداء، عريان مقتول عطشان، جعلت تنادي ومحمدا وعليا. لما رأى السبط أصحاب الوفا قتلوا، نادى أبا الفضل أين الفارس البطل، وأين من دوني الأرواح قد بذلوا، بالأمس كانوا معي واليوم قد رحلوا، وخلفوا في سويد القلب نيرانا. اللهم كن لوليك